joked too much for comfort that he was going to murder and dismember me and dispose of my body. Not getting off to a good start at all. Today we're going to talk about some of the biggest and brightest red flags that are on the internet. I should probably put a trigger warning on this entire video. You know how we do, exposing the evil out there, okay? All right, it's called Tonight I Broke Up with My Boyfriend Because He Kept Joking About Murdering Me. This is not rare. Yeah, this is a thing, and I don't understand, but these people really do be killing people, so I take that as my one and only sign to leave, because I'm not taking that chance. You do God knows what that triggers their homicidal rage, and poof, you gone. These people do have a pattern. As I sit and read these stories, and throughout all of my life experience, there's patterns. They're very similar, so we can spot this. Okay. It's a man and a woman. We don't know ages. So it says, during our first few weeks of dating, he joked too much for comfort that he was going to murder and dismember me and dispose of my body. Not getting off to a good start at all. Maybe out of context. Maybe I'm dramatic. No. Let's normalize not thinking we're too dramatic. It is sad that we have citizens of the world that feel they have to come onto Reddit to ask if this is a red flag or not. This should be an automatic red flag, you guys. But I'm not even judging, because it's all in how you're raised. It's all in what you're taught, what you go through in life. If your parents are straight up with you, if your parents even know the truth about the world, the dangers of the world. So I'm not judging. OP says, maybe out of context, maybe I'm being dramatic. He's very sarcastic and he does have dark humor. So she's rationalizing. But to me, it wasn't funny and caused me anxiety because I know the statistics. The statistics were not in her favor here at all. She knows what's up. And she says, I talked to him about this. I told him repeatedly, stop joking about killing me. The things you have to say to men these days. My God. All right, back to the story. Damn, I talked too much. I talked to him about this. I told him repeatedly, stop joking about killing me. He kept on with the jokes until I finally told him that those jokes literally scare me. He apologized and seemed to feel bad that his jokes made me scared of him. I'm going to call it now. Dude is enjoying her fear. He's a sadist. We'll see. I don't know. Tonight we were over 3 hours late to meet with his brother to play games, watch movies, and eat dinner. When I was talking to him about us being late, I noticed he sighed deeply, clenched his fist, and looked down at it, as if he was making the conscious choice not to punch me. He probably was. Then, as I was saying goodbye to his brother, he comes into the room and says, she should say her permanent goodbyes. See, there's a difference between dark humor and homicidal behavior. You know what I mean? And I don't know how we got into the gray area as a society, because I see all these true crime cases where especially young people will use incredibly graphic, violent, dark humor, and then their friends will just be like, oh, he just had dark humor, like, we didn't worry, and then he ends up killing his whole family. You know what I mean? You know the type. And I don't even know if this is a young person, so I'm gonna hop off the young ones, okay? So after he says she should say her permanent goodbyes, I asked him, WTF? He said it was a joke. It's not, it ain't. I asked, how is it funny? What is the punchline? Please explain to me how that was supposed to be funny, right? That's smart of her. See, she makes herself not an easy target by knowing these things. So to that, he couldn't answer. I didn't want to get in the car with him. Good, smart girl. I walked off, and thankfully my roommate picked me up and drove me home. He called later, and I told him I'm done. He's a good man other than the jokes about killing me. Is he though? Is he though? He may seem like a good guy other than the homicidal jokes, but we don't know if he really is. We don't ever know a person. Remember that. Oh no. So we talked about it and agreed that he wouldn't joke about killing me anymore. But then he did it again tonight. Of course, because they had already agreed on this several times, and he knows how much it scares her, and he's getting his jollies off to this. He's a little future murderer if he has not done so already, in my opinion. I don't even know this boy, but from what I'm seeing here, red flags. Red flags galore. Okay, so right after they decide that he's not going to joke about it anymore, that's it. No more jokes about murdering my girl. Then he did it again that night. And he doubled down that it was just a joke. Actually, I'm the problem, as in the OP. That's what they do. These manipulative predator types, they like to say everything's just a joke. Like, they'll give you the biggest insults, and then you get upset, and they make you feel like an idiot for getting upset because they're just joking. Just have a sense of humor. No, I will never laugh at something that isn't funny again. I've gotten mean over the years. You'll never catch me doing a fake laugh for a man. It makes you a target. Sad but true. I started telling him again about how often women are killed by their husbands and boyfriends, and that's why the jokes bother me so much. But he interrupted me to say, "Fuck you." It's because he knows that, and that's his goal. So I hung up and I blocked him. All of this really sucks because my roommates say I should just talk it out with him and give him another chance because they can tell I really like him and that he really likes me. See, this used to be the norm, to overlook such horrific things in people. No more. We're not doing that anymore. We stopped doing that. We're done with that shit. So don't listen to your roommates. Don't listen to your friends. Don't listen to your family if they're telling you, oh, don't worry, it's no big deal that this person, that they're making homicidal jokes. Make your own judgment calls, okay? If it feels wrong to you, it's wrong. And this person will and has the capability to kill you. They're not playing. If they're saying that shit, they can do it. And even if they're not saying it, they can do it. Sad but true. I hate to tell you. Listen to your Auntie Mandee and stay safe, okay? Okay, so then he did it again tonight while he was angry with me. While he's angry too, that's not good. That's not good at all. And it caused me this awful feeling in my gut that I needed to not get in the car with him and get away from him. Always listen to your gut. Always listen to that gut, not your friends, not anybody else. Listen to your intuition and you will know. Don't doubt it. Don't think, oh, am I being dramatic? Am I being paranoid? Any of that. No. Listen to it. Most of the time you're going to find out you were right and not paranoid. So listen to your gut. It saves lives every day. That's what it's there for. Okay, so let's continue. OP says, I've had boyfriends and male friends in the past. None of them have ever made jokes about murdering and dismembering me, especially multiple times after I told them to stop. So OP says, have you had friends or boyfriends that make jokes like this? Where is the humor in it? And what would you do in this situation? I have personal stories to share about this topic because this is unfortunately something that is more common than you would think. This was years ago, back in my youth. And it was this guy who was real, like, dark and edgy type. It was like emo or whatever. And we very briefly dated, and I could tell he was off from the beginning. He was into some weird stuff. And I was like slowly breaking it off with him because he was one of those you can't really do it sudden because it's kind of dangerous. I could sense the dark in this motherfucker. But yeah, he would make jokes like that all the time, and he would make the same type of excuses saying, "Oh, I'm just joking." She wouldn't even say he wouldn't do that. He'd be like, "Oh, you would love it. Oh, you would love it. Oh, it'd be hot," or something weird. Like, and I was like, see, because I got a low tolerance for bullshit, though. I don't stick around for this. You might as well take another chance and hope for a normal one, or just stay by yourself. And same thing with SA jokes. Like, I've had male friends, well, a couple of them, that would joke about that type of thing. And that was, I don't want to say normal back in the 90s and 2000s, but like, people would do it, and it wasn't as frowned upon as it is today. And I honestly stopped talking to these people. I'm not going to talk to these people. I would advise, if you hear somebody even joking about this stuff, specifically to you or about another person, and it's like in any type of violent manner, get some help. Get the hell away from this person. Do what you gotta do, because they aren't playing. They're not playing. They're testing to see how you react. They're testing your reaction. They're getting off on your reaction. They love your fear. A lot of these people are sadists. They get off on scaring women and scaring people, hurting animals, because if you get in a sadist clutches and you can't get away from them, they will hurt you for fun, and they will enjoy it. Before the one guy I dated started making the homicidal jokes, he would like start an argue or like make me upset in some way. It wouldn't even be personal or about the relationship. Half the time he would just bring up something that makes me uncomfortable, like just something, and like make it sound like it wasn't even him. He's just bringing up the stuff that he knows really triggers me. And like, he would also just say things and just push my buttons and say weird messed up stuff. And then by the time I'm all worked up and upset, he's all getting off on that. It's real sick. Let's check on our girl here. Well, people in the comments are saying, just remember, there's a lot of murdered women that once said he'd never do that to me. That's the damn truth. Nobody ever thinks they're going to have that done to them, or that their man will do that to them, or their ex. Or normal people that aren't evil don't grasp the concept of humans doing this type of thing to each other, because that's just not in our nature. But sadly, a lot of people do carry that darkness, and they are evil, and they will kill your ass. So you please be careful. Be careful. These people aren't out here playing games. You got to test them. You got to run them through tests, jump through hoops to make sure these people are safe. And then you still don't know. Sometimes you get 30 years, 50 years down the line, find out they're a serial killer. It happens all the time. I shouldn't watch so much true crime, but it's true. Okay, let me make sure there's no updates or anything. Oh, update. OP says, thank you everyone for your overwhelming support. Also, thank you for the important links and resources in the comments. I've learned a lot and shared them with my friends. I love this sub. I haven't heard from him, and he hasn't caused any trouble since the breakup. If anything comes up, I'll update this post. This was 2 years ago, no update. So I pray she is okay. I pray she's not with him anymore. But if she is, I pray she's okay.